Now, before anybody comes for me in the comments, and I know some of you are already warming up those fingers, let me say this. I'm not here to tear down another black woman. That's not what we do. But what we are going to do today is have an honest discussion about influence, economics, and the messages our young girls are absorbing. Now, Cardi is going to be Cardi, and that's her right. But there are little girls out here, 7, 8, 9 years old, who can recite Cardi B lyrics word for word, every single word. But ask them to read a paragraph at grade level, crickets. Ask them to do basic math, they can't. But those Cardi lyrics, memorized. Now, I am talking about this because something happened yesterday. Cardi B's song came on the radio, and it got me thinking. You know that line, shake a little ass, get a little dough, shake it real fast, get a little more. Yes, that line. Cardi is telling these girls, shake a little ass, get a little bag, and take it to the store. Shake it real fast and get a little more. Basically, she is saying that the faster you shake it, the more dough you get. That there is a linear relationship between the speed of shaking ass and how much money you make. Baby, that's not just a catchy hook. That's an economic formula. That's a business model being programmed into these young minds on repeat. And the scary part, it's working better than any finance class ever could. Cardi is their finance professor. See, music has a power that lectures don't have, a power that textbooks don't have. When was the last time you heard a 9-year-old voluntarily repeat something they learned in class? Exactly. But they can sing you every word of a Cardi song without missing a beat. They can sing money without missing a beat. And before you say, well, parents should monitor what their kids listen to, yes, absolutely, 100%. But we're not just talking about parental responsibility right now. We're talking about the impact. We're talking about what happens when an entire generation of black girls is being taught that their primary economic value is connected to their bodies, their sexuality, their ability to perform for male attention. Let me ask you this. If you repeat something 47,000 times, what happens? Remember, that's how many times we replay our favorite songs. 47,000 times. What happens? It seeps into your subconscious. It becomes part of how you see yourself, how you see the world, how you understand your value. Now, I'm going to share something with you that really made this click for me. Think about how we create excellence in our community. Think about athletes. Why are black folks some of the best basketball players and football players in the world? Is it just natural talent? No, baby. It's because we have a system. In every city, in every neighborhood, there are coaches recruiting little black boys, training them, building them up from the time they can walk. That's thousands and thousands of kids being funneled through a system that teaches them discipline, strategy, teamwork, and excellence in their craft. Now compare that to the music industry's influence. Cardi B and many rappers are out here packing stadiums. People spend their hard-earned money to go see them perform. I attend concerts too, and I'm not mad at Cardi for that. The girl is getting her bag, and I respect the hustle. But here's my question. How many of those same people would spend that money on a financial literacy workshop, on a business development course, on learning skills that could actually change their economic situation for generations? The answer makes us uncomfortable, doesn't it? Let me tell you about the power of self-image and repetition, because this is where it gets really interesting. There's a rapper, and I'm not going to name names because this isn't about him specifically, but from day one, before he'd sold even 25 records, this man called himself the king. He declared himself king when nobody else saw it. People laughed, people said he was arrogant, but you know what happened? He kept saying it. In every song, in every interview, he reinforced that image of himself. And eventually, the world agreed he became the king because he programmed his own mind first. Now flip that. What happens when our young girls are programming their minds with, I'm a stripper, my value is in how fast I can shake ass? You might say, well, it's just entertainment. But sis, the brain doesn't know the difference. When you're 7 years old singing about shaking it for dollars, you're not thinking, this is just artistic expression. You're learning, you're absorbing, you're being shaped. Now let's talk about something that's going to make some of y'all uncomfortable. How we spend our money. I need you to understand something. There is no such thing as black spending power. I know you've heard that phrase. Black people have $1.3 trillion in spending power. Baby, that's not power. That's the opposite of power. If I told you I had sex with 14 men this month power, You wouldn't call that power, would you? No, you'd say, girl, you're being used, because power isn't about how much you give away. Power is about what you build and control. Spending money is giving it away. Investing money is making it work for you. And this connects directly to the Cardi conversation because here's what I see. People will drop $200 on concert tickets but won't spend $50 on a book for their child. They'll spend $300 on a night out but won't invest $100 in a financial literacy course. I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying don't enjoy life, but I am saying that when your entertainment budget is bigger than your investment budget, you're playing yourself. And you know what the really wild part is? The music that's convincing you to spend that money, the music that's prioritizing entertainment over education, the music that's teaching your daughters that their value is in their bodies, that same music is also telling you exactly what to spend your money on. The brands, the lifestyle, the clubs, the bottles. It's a whole ecosystem designed to extract wealth from our community, and we're singing along to the instructions. Let me talk to the mothers watching this. The aunties, the big sisters, the godmothers. Picture the little girl in your life, your daughter, your niece, your goddaughter. Picture her face. Now imagine her at 16, at 21, at 25. What do you want for her? Do you want her understanding that her value is in her mind, her skills, her ability to create and build? Or do you want her believing that her primary economic asset is her body and her willingness to perform sexuality for money? Because I'm going to tell you something. The world is already going to try to sexualize her. The world is already going to try to reduce her to her appearance. The world is already going to try to tell her that her black girl magic is only valuable if it's making somebody else money. So the question is, are we going to reinforce those messages or are we going to counter them? When she's singing Cardi B lyrics at 7 years old, she's not thinking about artistic nuance. She's programming her subconscious with a formula. Shake it real fast and get a little more. And then we wonder why we have a generation of young women who think their only options are being a video vixen, an Instagram model, or hoping to marry a rapper or athlete. Our girls deserve better. They deserve to know they can be business owners, investors, entrepreneurs. They deserve to know that their minds are more valuable than their bodies. Now, I'm about to share a vision with you, and I need y'all to really hear me on this. You know how in every neighborhood there's a little league football team? In every city, there are AAU basketball coaches recruiting kids. There's a whole infrastructure built around developing black athletic talent. Coaches go up to parents and say, hey, bring your son out for football. And they train these kids, they develop them, they create a pipeline from the playground to the pros. Now, 99.9% of those kids will never make a dime playing professional sports, but we still invest all that time, energy, and resources into that system. Meanwhile, where's the equivalent system for business, for financial literacy, for entrepreneurship? Imagine if in every neighborhood where there's a football league, there was also a youth business academy. Imagine if every basketball coach was matched with a financial literacy mentor. Imagine if we spent as much time teaching our kids about compound interest as we do teaching them about jump shots. Imagine if every family gathering where we're talking about who's going to the NFL, we were also talking about who's starting their first business or who's buying their first property. That's the culture shift we need. And it starts with you and me. Here's something I need y'all to understand. Economic survival for black people isn't just about making money. It's literally about life and death. Do you know how many black people die every year over $500? How many go to prison miss watching their children grow up because they didn't know any other way to feed their families except hustling in the streets? Do you know how many brilliant black minds are stuck in minimum wage jobs because nobody taught them there were other options? How many generational cycles of poverty continue because we're not teaching our kids about building wealth? This isn't just about Cardi B. This is about a system that profits from keeping us as consumers instead of creators, spenders instead of investors, entertainers instead of entrepreneurs. And I'm not saying entertainment is bad. Black excellence in entertainment is beautiful. Our music, our art, our culture, it's powerful and it matters. But it can't be the only thing. It can't be the primary economic education our children receive. Let me share something that really put this in perspective for me. There are countries, I'm not going to name them, but you know who I'm talking about, where the government evaluates your value as a citizen by whether you're bringing resources and opportunities back to your community. If you're not contributing to the collective success, if you're not bringing knowledge and skills and resources back home, then you're not really valued. Your success isn't celebrated unless it lifts others up with you. Now compare that to how we celebrate success in our community. We celebrate the individual who made it out, the one who got rich and left, the one who got famous and forgot where they came from. But getting rich by yourself while your hood stays poor, that's not success, that's survival. And there's a difference, and that's why this Cardi conversation matters so much, because she's not just an entertainer. Whether she wants to be or not, she's an educator. She's these young girls' finance professor. She's teaching millions of young black girls an economic formula. And the question is that the formula we want them to learn? Look, I know this was heavy. I know some of y'all are probably in your feelings right now, and that's okay, but understand this. Everything I'm saying comes from a place of love. Deep, deep love for our community, for our children, for our future. I'm not out here trying to tear down Cardi. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad about enjoying music. I'm trying to wake us up to the patterns we've fallen into and the systems we've accepted as normal. So I'm asking us to educate these young girls that they deserve better, because our daughters deserve better, our sons deserve better, our community deserves better. All right, loves, that's all I got for today. If this resonated with you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a comment letting me know what you think. But keep it respectful, because we're not about tearing each other down. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we're going to keep having these heartfelt conversations, the uncomfortable ones, the necessary ones. And remember, you can love Cardi's music and want better economic education for our children. Both things can be true. Until next time, protect your peace, invest in your future, and teach the babies something that's going to actually help them win in this world. Peace.